The signs of abuse are threats of destruction.
Signs of abuse. Violence.
Signs of abuse. Feelings.
These are the signs of abuse.
Hi, I'm Jen, and I'm 25. This shows that one light has gone out. The light is symbolic of someone that is still there and still participating in society, but something is different. Maybe she is still going out with friends, but is constantly checking in on her phone. Maybe she leaves early. Maybe she doesn't even go out. People in abusive relationships can still function in life, but something is different about them since the abuse has started. Their light has gone out. This turtle is completely underwater except for its head, just like someone who's trying to keep control of their life and not be swallowed up by the darkness. They're fighting just enough to survive, but not completely. They tolerate the situation they are in rather than fighting to get out of it. This rock probably started out as a smooth stone, but over time got some cracks and imperfections. This is just like someone who has been abused. These cracks and scars form, and they never really heal fully. The scars of abuse stay with a person throughout their life, even after the abuse has stopped. This butterfly is still half caterpillar. To me, this symbolizes an unkept promise to change. This partner has made a promise to stop the abuse and to make things better, but has come up short. This window represents light and freedom. The vines and leaves show obstacles and how hard it is to leave an abusive relationship. And there are things that make people stay. Money, their house, the stigma, but there is always hope.
Hi, my name is Carla and I'm 25. In this image here, I see the left begins to consume the right, and it's gaining dominance, and the smaller branch begins to be consumed by the other. And it's blended so much that it doesn't even have its own self anymore. This is very symbolic of some relationships where women just kind of assume the role that they have been put in, and they think that it's okay because they are not aware of what a healthy relationship looks like. And over time, you have something that looks like this, where there's no out. This image here, where we have a lot of leaves fully spread open, yet one to the right is rolled up and hiding with like things, but it's not the same anymore. And in abusive relationships, that's very symbolic of not wanting to bring attention to the negative actions taking place in your life. And one of the reasons for that happening is often because you have been made, or you've been convinced that these actions are a result of your actions, and you deserved these things. Everyone kind of has this support system that's already in place, whether it's friends, families, neighbors, things like that. And the more you push them away or out of your life, the more likely that the relationship's not going to continue to be there. And when you really need them, and you've really decided that this is the point when I need them, and they're not there, that's when you really feel trapped. This bird here is in its home, and it's looking out into the world, yet it's by itself. And that really connects back with abusive relationships and emotional abuse, because I guess it seems that often things like this are tolerated out of the fear of being harmed or for having your children harmed. This top of a waterfall, it's two sides of someone's story. It's at the point where you could take the opportunity and either go with the flow and spiral down into what you don't know and what's kind of dark. There's nothing down there to help you get back out. There's nothing pulling you back to where you were. But on the other hand, that's very symbolic of the opportunity to change. So even though you don't know what the plan is, you're taking the chance on yourself. You can take that momentum and roll with it and hopefully see a new beginning.
My name is Amelia and I'm 26. The sticks and like the cross and the twine, I feel that was the ultimate sign for me today of forced sexual acts. My first kiss, which is supposed to be special for most little girls and most teenage girls, was a part of a forced sexual act. I still remember feeling awkward, kissing the person I had no feelings for. It was at night. It was cold. Sometimes I can still feel that type of cold, even when I want to like kissing a person. I sat with this butterfly for about 5 to 10 minutes. I felt that although it was lifeless, I wanted to acknowledge its presence. For a moment, I lifted the stick and I blew on its wings, hoping that it may just have been caught, but it didn't move. It made me think of the heavy feeling of being abused, feeling stuck, feeling worthless and alone because of the threats of violence, harm, and destruction. Society, our friends, our families tell us to go, get out, leave. But sometimes, the threat or the risk of impending harm crush us and keep us in the cycle. I felt that this statue exposed the essence of innocence and femininity in young girls. And to me, she's defenseless. And sure, she appears like she's made of stone. And again, she's ready to kick ass and take names, like we said before. But she's hollow on the inside because of those experiences. I was told when I was little, you better be smart because your looks won't get you anywhere. But in the hallways, my curvy figure was mocked. I was told that if I could, I would kill you because someone as fat and ugly as you does not deserve to live. Verbal insults, put-downs, name-calling, and toying with emotions can hit someone just as hard as physical abuse. So when I sat there and I looked at that little girl, stained, cracked, and broken, I felt like I was looking at myself.
My name's Chloe, and I'm 29. The branches remind me of his hands. The hands are holding down the leaves and trying to control them. I can picture what he used to do to my dog. When he was angry, he would wrap his hands around his neck and hold him down. Sparky carries this with him. He doesn't like men and barks at them, and he treads cautiously around them. It reminds me of being guilted into having sex with him when I didn't want to. We both carry this with us. This reminds me of being given unkept promises that he would change. There are vines wrapping themselves around the branch, suffocating it. There are brown, dying, ugly vines, but also new growth, representing change and new beginnings, but it continues to wrap itself tightly around the branch. I'm reminded of being back in that abusive relationship, where I put faith in my ex-husband to change, after he promised to try. I was so hopeful. It was devastating when he went back to his old ways. This reminds me of being isolated and afraid. I was told when I could and I couldn't go out, who I could see, how I should act. The chain elicits fear of violent outbursts and reminds me of how I conformed to who he wanted me to be and did what he wanted me to do in order to keep him happy and avoid making him angry at all costs. I had given up who I was in order to keep his anger in check and keep myself and everyone I love safe. This made me feel empowered. It symbolizes my journey. Being a woman that was broken, with lots of emotional scars, feeling dirty and not worthy of love, to becoming a woman who escaped domestic violence and is able to recognize the signs of abuse. Now I have the courage to say, do not touch me.
These are the signs of abuse. Violent outbursts, isolation from family and friends, feelings of worthlessness,
Physical assault, fear for self or children, threats of violence or harm, threats of destruction of property or pets.
Makes you feel guilty or worthless, insults, put-downs, or name-calling, jealousy or accusations of cheating,
Unkept promises to change, control of all the money, forced sexual acts.